Grace Joe walks along the leafy paths of Montgomery College in Rockville, Maryland. She is indistinguishable from any other American college student. But the 26-year-old's astounding journey took her from the gulags of North Korea's brutal dictatorship and the very edge of starving to death to a new, unimaginable life in the United States.
America is the greatest country from the world.
Grace is a North Korean escapee who fled with her mother and sister. She is now one of 8 recipients of President George W. Bush Institute's North Korean Freedom Scholarship Program, an effort by the former president to encourage freedom and American values for those who fled the Hermit Kingdom. And Grace, now a U.S. citizen, is uncompromising on what she says should be the fate of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
The North Korean regime should not exist in this world any longer. I will say the U.S. government use military force or any kind of force. We should stop the North Korean regime because the regime is killing those innocent people in the country. And child, babies, and moms and elders, they're dying without any hope.
She says tough talk is the only thing the regime understands.
I believe North Korean regime will not listen if we speak nicely. So I think it's time to take action to North Korean government, because if we don't have any action, we only speak words and trying to give something to them and, give a candy to a little crying kid. It can solve a moment, but it will not solve for long run.
She does not think a military strike, with its predictions of a possible catastrophic loss of life in South Korea and the region, is feasible.
I don't want drop the bomb or killing those innocent people.
But she hopes the U.S. and its allies can conduct covert actions that will lead to the toppling of the regime. Grace says her 2 younger brothers died of starvation, and her father died from being tortured while in police custody for sneaking a bag of rice from China. And she was always taught to bow before the portrait of the North Korean leader.
During New Year's time, New Year's Day, the government will give us little kids a gift bag, which is cookies and candies in a bag. And then we hold that bag in front of us and then bow to the portrait for 3 times. So that was the lecture I got from my grandmother. I have to bow to the leader's portrait, and I have to thank to him whenever or whatever food I can eat.
While Grace is grateful for her path, she does not want those left behind to be forgotten.
All those people are dying there, and they are suffering in North Korea. So please think about the children who are dying there without any hope. It's getting worse, but it never gets better.
A renowned East Asian security expert has made an explosive claim that China is arming North Korea. Speaking on the Fox Business Network on Wednesday, Gordon Chang said Beijing is weaponizing the North, providing equipment and technology vital to the regime's weapons program. Chang, best known for his book The Coming Collapse of China, says the ICBMs test fired by Pyongyang this year were transported by Chinese mobile launchers, while the regime's latest submarine-launched ballistic missiles were variants of a Chinese rocket. Nevertheless, in Chang's opinion, President Trump has taken necessary steps in dealing with China, backing secondary sanctions on entities engaged in business with North Korea.
Just 18 short months after the record of decision to bring the F-35 to Eielson Air Force Base, the first one has arrived. While this particular F-35 is not assigned to Eielson, nor is it fully operational, this aircraft will be doing extensive testing to ensure its capabilities in the Arctic environment.
No one's done icy runway testing for any F-35, so that's what we're here for right now. We showed up last week, and we will be here testing the F-35 to see how it performs when the runway is icy. And I will tell you, the F-35 has not always been a smooth road. I think we can all agree there's been some roadblocks. There's been some challenges. It's been in the news as having problems. And guess what? That's kind of expected. We are testing the F-35. And I'll tell you right now, the F-35 is extremely capable. America and our world needs this airframe, right? It is like nothing before it. And because There's going to be 4,000 platforms, and it's integrated with 14 partner nations and the services. We need this to work, and I'm telling you right now, it is working. It is a very capable airframe, and I'm excited to see basically the future of F-35 operations here in Alaska.
The first of 54 F-35s to be assigned to Eielson will arrive in 2020, making Alaska one of the most strategic places in the entire world.
We in Alaska here are very familiar with our geography of Alaska. And with the tanker support that we have, we can go pretty much anywhere in the northern hemisphere in about 9 hours. And when we have the full complement of the F-35 here in Alaska, as was mentioned, we'll have more than 100 fifth-generation aircraft here in Alaska. If anybody in the world is thinking about having a conflict with us, they have to put that into their calculus, because we can take off from here, and in 8 or 9 hours, we can have both of these aircraft in a formation over their country.
Senior Airman Josh Weaver, Eielson Air Force Base, Alaska.
U.S. military intelligence has detected the construction of a new diesel submarine in North Korea's Sinpo shipyard on its east coast. According to Diplomat magazine on Wednesday, U.S. intelligence estimates the sub to be a 2,000-ton vessel capable of launching a submarine-launched ballistic missile, or SRBM. The vessel is the largest the regime has constructed since building its Najin-class frigates. The U.S. intelligence community believes the new sub will succeed the Koret-class ballistic missile submarine, the only sub that can launch a Pukguksong-1 SRBM. North Korea has carried out 4 SRBM ejection tests this summer, with the last taking place on July 30th. U.S. intelligence also believes the regime is currently developing a new SRBM known as the Pukguksong-3, which uses an advanced airframe made of lighter composite materials that would increase the range of the missile. Amid increasing ballistic missile threats from the north, the U.S. 6th Fleet test-fired one of its most advanced missile interceptors, the Standard Missile-6, off the Scottish coast. The U.S. 6th Fleet released a statement after the test on Sunday that the SM-6 was launched from an Aegis destroyer and successfully intercepted an incoming ballistic missile. Raytheon, the missile manufacturers, said that the SM-6 is the only missile that can be used for both anti-air and anti-surface warfare, meaning that the missile could be used to counter North Korea's nuclear facilities and intercept the regime's ballistic missiles, which continue to develop rapidly.